Hello, I'm Jane Voorhees, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about our family story. This is Millie and Ed Voorhees, our parents on one of their painting trips. Millie and Ed both love to paint. Ed gets an early start on painting by staying in Manhattan after his workday to study at the Art Students League. Millie gets a much later start in her painting career. Still, it is their creative approach to life, their willingness to do what they love, to make it happen and take risks, that influence and shape all six of us, their children. This is a bit of the story of the Voorhees family. Millie and Ed Voorhees meet in 1943 and marry after 6 weeks. Their wartime marriage lasts until Ed's death in 1999, 56 years later. Their story of living creatively is also a story of raising a family of artists. A mess of kids, a newborn baby, and Ed's a traveling salesman. This is life on a farm in Charlotte with 500 chickens and 5 cows. Millie has her hands full, but Ed looks very happy. How does one cope with a half dozen kids? We band together with Millie's cousin's family, the Madisons. Now we are 10 kids and 4 adults living in the same town in New Jersey, sharing family meals, skiing trips, and summer vacations. Cousin Jane and Millie grocery shop together, and each week they squirrel away a bit of their food allowance to save for a small house rental on the coast of North Carolina. Here we are together in Morehead City, down the street from where we will eventually live a few years later. One day, Millie and Ed have a brilliant idea. Take the family to California to visit Ed's family. Yet there's a dilemma. We can't afford to fly. Driving is problematic as well. 8 of us crammed in a small station wagon for days on end is neither feasible nor desirable. And eating out and staying at motels along the way would be much too expensive. Millie suggests buying an old school bus, turning it into a camper, and driving it to California. It's 1960. There are no RVs or even converted school buses on the road yet. Ed is skeptical. Yet Millie discovers a used 45-foot school bus in the Yellow Pages. They purchase it for $1,017.29. Ed begins the conversion. He builds 4 hanging bunk beds, a dining table that converts into a double bed, 2 lower beds over storage bins, a kitchen area with a sink and Coleman stove, and an old icebox, and a chemical toilet in the back. He builds a bookcase for a full set of World Book encyclopedias. It stood next to the one remaining bus seat behind the driver's seat. We are ready to begin our journey within 2 weeks' time. We christen her the Turtle. The Turtle takes us across the country to California, to our destination, San Diego. On our trip, we stop at state parks and national parks, visiting Mesa Verde, the Grand Canyon, and the Dinosaur National Park. We have our World Book Encyclopedia to learn about these places before we arrive. We get to see the giant trees at the Sequoia National Park, but the Turtle breaks down and we have to be towed down the mountain. The repairs drag on. Meanwhile, Ed runs out of time off from work, so he has to fly home. Millie is left with a 45-foot bus, which she has hardly driven, 6 kids, and 2,000 miles to drive. She is 36 years old, but beginning to feel much older. It was during one of the summer vacations in Morehead City that Ed and Cousin Len, just to humor Millie and Cousin Jane, put in a low-ball offer on a big old house down the street from the rental. But the bid is accepted, and our future changes forever. We now own a rundown house on the coast of North Carolina, but live in New Jersey with Ed commuting to work into Manhattan. Ed and Millie have long talks about the family's future. Ed has been offered a prestigious and lucrative promotion that will have him traveling the world while leaving Millie home with the kids. So instead of taking the promotion, Ed and Millie decide it's time for Ed to retire at 45 and do something that allows him time to paint. They purchase DG's gift shop on the waterfront in Morehead City, and the family moves to the coast of North Carolina. Running the gift shop allows Ed time for painting. Living by the water serves as inspiration for his paintings, and DG serves as the personal gallery for his work. Ed was well known for his coastal scenes. He loved the light by the water. He loved the shrimp boats and their riggings. He was at home anywhere in the world if it was on the coast. With the family grown, Millie finally gets to start painting. Ed and Millie started attending painting workshops, combining their two passions, travel and painting. Millie's work was very different from Ed's. So while Ed was a master of transparent washes, Millie loved to paint brightly colored patterns with watercolor. They find a painting workshop in Cornwall, England. It was on the coast, 3 meals a day provided, housed in the artist's home, and outside painting every day. They fell in love with the Mounts Bay Art Center in Cornwall and returned there for over 15 years. There they made lifelong friends. Their travel paintings sold in galleries throughout the state, which allowed them the ability to travel more. They traveled with their painter friends and family to England, France, Morocco, Turkey, Greece, painting everywhere they went. When they heard of an old fishing village in North Yorkshire that had been attracting artists since the 19th century, they decided they had to explore that area. There they stumbled on a tiny miner's cottage in Cowbar with a for rent sign in the window. The cottage was perched high on a cliff with an incredible view of Staithe below. This miner's cottage became a favorite annual painting destination for the two of them and their friends and family for years to come. Hanging out with artists means you might be painted by them at some point. Here are some of the ones of Millie and Ed painting, painted by their painter friends. The Voorhees Family Art Show that has taken place in Asheville for almost 20 years had its beginnings in Ed and Millie's home and studio in Morehead City in the summer of 1998. It was Ed's idea to do the first family show. He had read about doing home shows in an art magazine. It was a new idea at the time, and he thought it sounded like something fun to try. It was an opportunity to showcase the artwork of all of us in the family, as well as an opportunity for the family to get together, which we always loved to do. Ed and Millie had a beautiful, large, spacious studio that they had designed in their new home, and it was a perfect space for an art show. We cleared out their studio and made room for lots of artwork by several family members for the weekend show. It was a glorious affair with good food, lots of friends, and an extended family in attendance. Ed's idea of a family home show was a huge success. Unfortunately, that was the only show Ed would participate in. He passed away the next year, but he had created something special, and the show has continued since. The show continued in Morehead City for a few more years until Millie relocated to Asheville in 2003, and it has been in Asheville ever since. Over the years, the show has been in different family member homes in North Asheville, once in Millie's home, a couple of times at my brother Ted's home, several times at cousin Marion's home, and many times at Susan's home. And over the years, we've had a variety of participants: immediate family, extended family, family friends, grandkids, and even great-grandkids of Ed and Millie. Through the family show, we have made fundraising for local nonprofits a regular event. In years past, we gathered every year to make decorated handmade cups for our fundraisers. Including others in the show is our way of supporting and encouraging the creative spirit of other family members. Just like Ed and Millie supported and nurtured our creative spirits, we strive to do the same through the yearly Voorhees Family Art Show.